In this video, we're going to take a look at how to pick root notes out of common chords, do that root note with strumming. I kind of nicknamed this Bob Dylan strumming, which is where we pick and hammer on or flick off with our fretting hand. The difference here is that most beginner strumming songs are all strumming most of the strings available in any particular chord. But the way we can massively elevate that is have the ability to pick the root note of whatever chord we're playing. G major is here, and then strum, and have that pick, strum, which if I do up to tempo, I kind of nicknamed this Bob Dylan strumming. A very similar thing is done in country and many Johnny Cash type songs, and that single note pick can really bring a lot of basic strumming patterns to life. So let's give that a go. Use the same technique, but we're just going to go for pick, strum, pick, strum. Notice how the picking hand is very still, or does a very small motion of the wrist on the pick, and is more free-flowing, still with a slight twist of the wrist on the strum, but it's all just a small twist of the wrist to do the single note pick. Very small motion, and then we kind of just throw it down, just flick it away, flick it away. And that down, 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 up, down is a nice thing to try and get used to. When we do that with other chords, we may have to change string for that root note. For example, on a C major chord, as we covered already, that is the C note on string 5, and that's where we'd strum from. We can kind of safeguard that we're going to hit that and not accidentally hit, string 6, by having the thumb just sat on top, not over, not like this, just sat on top of string 6. And that means that if we accidentally hit the thickest 2 strings, it's actually all right. That's saved our bacon there. And we can do, however, ideally, pick, strum like this. And we do want, I'm doing it slowly, but we do want just one sound. We're not doing this. We want just one sound. And when we do that on, for example, a D major chord, that D root note is on string 4, which is quite away from string 6. So we're a little bit further down. It can feel a little bit weird. This one can take a little bit longer to develop. And we can't rely on the kind of technique of muting string 6. We need to just pick. But it is less of a strum down. We don't need to strum as far. Keep the motions as small as possible. Here's the trick. For all of these intermediate level techniques. Finally, I promised we'd look at something called hammer-ons and flick-offs that we can play on guitar. The hammer-on is an easier motion, and it's where we can pick and get a string kind of moving and vibrating, but then hammer on just with the fretting hand, and we get a note ringing out. And when we pick and then hit the note, and we can even do a combination of hammer-ons and flick-offs and do like the rock star thing, even on acoustic guitar. But when we pick and hammer on, or pick and flick off, that is technically known as combination picking. It uses a combination of both hands. And one thing that we can add to this is, for example, on G major, pick string 6, strum, pick string 5 with an open hammer and do a strum, and we get this pattern. A wonderful, folky, Bob Dylan-y style strumming pattern. If we do that same thing on a C add 9, we can even use the same technique picking string 5, strum, pick string 4 with the first finger lifted off, but keep it close because it's going to pick, then hammer on, and then strum. And then we can do that same thing on a D major chord. Pick the D root note, pick string 3 this time, and then strum. Lift off that first finger, pick, hammer on. We can do the same on that C chord. And G major chord. Now let's have a look at a jam track which you can play along to with visual tab and visual chords on screen so that you know where you are. And this is your practical assessment of the skills that we've looked at so far. Here we go, best of luck.